Hey everybody, welcome back to the newest devlog for MERCS. It's been a little while since I've done one of these, but IRL's been a little busy. Everything's been kind of busy and weird lately for me, so haven't had much a chance to do these videos lately, but here we are. This time around, we've got a few things to talk about. When I originally sat down to make this video, I was like, well, there's not a whole lot to really show, and then I just kind of put down in like bullet point form all the stuff I wanted to talk about. I was like, oh, actually, there is quite a few things here. So, a few things to mention this time around. So, since the last video I made. So first off, let's get right into it. Let's have a look real quick. We'll go into the campaign screen here. And the first thing that I've been working on a lot is actually just the dragging and dropping of these. Like, they always worked basically, but it was always a little bit kind of dicey. Like, it bugged out every so often. It wasn't super great. Now it's actually totally perfect and robust. It seems to work good. And what's more is now you can literally like swap people directly out like that, versus you couldn't do that before. It would just kind of screw up like that. Sometimes it was kind of hit and miss, but everything's nice and robust now. So if you have, you know, if your hangar is full of tanks, or your you know, your roster is full of mercs, you don't have to, you know, play Tetris. You can just like swap them out directly like that. So it's a lot more robust in here. Everything just feels a lot better, and I'm a lot happier with that now. So that's really good. In addition to that, you can also now dismiss mercs. So if you don't want alpha anymore, dismiss. Are you sure? Okay, and there she goes. And now you can make room for a new merc if you want and get a better one. By the same token, you can do the same thing with your vehicles. If you want to sell the vehicle, right click, are you sure? And then you get a little bit of the money back. Well, once this little error goes away, you get a little bit of the money back versus the value of the tank. Apparently that's not updating. Oops. But you get the money back. You get the idea. Minor UI glitch. Hey, it's in dev. What can I say? So there's that. All right, so the campaign screen has changed a little bit. I've made some adjustments to that. So instead of the usual boring looking screen, it's improved slightly. So basically, rather than just these ugly sort of boxes everywhere and it just doesn't look great, I've got a proper campaign screen now, which is obviously very whip, but we'll have a look at it. So obviously, as with everything in this game, absolutely nothing is final. Nothing is, you know, nothing's perfect, nothing's final, but you can see now, rather than having a list of things, we actually have points on a map we can pick from. Let's maybe do this mission over here, Dead Man's Pass or whatever. Maybe we'll go here, go over here, you know what I mean? So now it's more of a visual representation. This map, of course, is not final. This is just a kind of quick proof of concept of what I'm going to be doing. Again, nothing's final. Everything's just kind of up in the air, but this is basically what we're looking at. And right now, the game does track. Like, if I was to go in here and beat this, it would keep track of my campaign progress and beat that or whatever. Like the golden ones here, those are sort of campaign story missions, and then, you know, you get side missions you can do whenever you want in the sort of gray ones here. But that's how that's going to flow. So it's basically, you know, you go from mission to mission, and you can do side missions whenever you want to get more money or get more experience for your mercs, whatever that kind of stuff. So that's how that works. Again, very work in progress, but I just wanted to show kind of where I'm at with that. So the campaign is sort of progressing, so that's great. The next thing I want to show is something I'm just calling Decals. Well, here, I'll just show you. So basically, the way it worked before was you just had the color on your tank, and maybe you had like a paint job on there, and that's all well and good, but it bled right into the weapons, into everything else. But now there's actual decals on top of all that, which are sort of independent of the actual, like, of the paint job and the color. So for example, you see this here, this plasma can, you can kind of see like it's got like green sort of, you know, it's kind of got like green glowy lights on it and everything. And you can see there's parts of it that aren't colored green. So, or like the turret here, it's got, you know, this red light, and you see the chassis got some lights on it and everything, and you know what I mean? And then the arc cannon here, you can see, if you look, it's got these cool, like, kind of, you know, paint job decals on it, and it's all kind of discolored near the front and everything. So these little details, I think they've added quite a bit to the overall visual aesthetic of the game. I'm really happy with how they turned out. So now those, no matter what's going on the tank layer, where it's like, regardless of its color or what kind of paint job you've got on there, this will sit on top of that, so it doesn't get hued like when you change the color or whatever like that. So it's completely separate in the shader. So I'm pretty happy with how that's turned out, and I think that's really made a pretty big difference in just the overall look of the game. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is the new weapon ranges overlay. So over here on the button panel, there's a new button here, or you can just press R. But if we click this button here, well, maybe I'll go to this tank and show you, or maybe I'll stare here. If you click weapon ranges, you see now you get this overlay showing you the sort of max effective range of this vehicle's weapons. And so you see here it's got this red sort of, you know, border here. This says this is the max effective range of this weapon. And this one's actually extended because this particular turret grants bonus range to whatever weapons it's holding. So actually this is, you know, this is the total max effective range. And if we click on this other tank here who's got 2 guns, you can see now we have 2 radiuses. So the way it works is the red one, that's the effective range of your primary weapon, which in this case is the 120mm cannon. And the yellow is the max range, or the max effective range anyway, of your secondary weapon, which in this case is a heavy machine gun. So the thing with max effective range, basically the weapon is perfectly accurate up until it starts going past its effective range, and I think it loses something like, I think it's 10% accuracy per hex that you go beyond this. So the accuracy really starts to fall off. So it's always good kind of on the fly to be able to just kind of see this whenever you need to see it. That way you can kind of position your vehicles better, or you know what I mean? Or maybe try and stay out of range of your opponents. If you know you've got a long range weapon, you can stay at the sort of the edges of your range and kind of keep them, you know what I mean? Keep them at bay, keep them at range, sort of thing. Without having to constantly, like, you know, memorize all the weapon ranges of every weapon in the game so you try to be optimal. In this case here, you can just press the button or click the button or whatever and just see what the weapon ranges are so you can make that call on the fly. Now there's also a couple of new buttons here on the on this panel here. So we have aimed shot and evasive maneuvers. So the way this works is, let's say we haven't attacked yet this turn, and what we can do is we can say, okay, I'm gonna forfeit any idea of shooting with this tank this turn in exchange for a big bonus in hit chance next turn, if that makes sense. So if I click this aimed shot, it goes purple. That means it's kind of like I've used it for this turn and I can't shoot, I can't do many more actions this turn. So we'll process the turn, we'll go to the next turn, and it sees, you get this little sort of emote. I don't know if you could read that quickly, but it says takes careful aim. Maybe I'll have to slow that down, but it's just kind of a little telegraph to let you know that it's happened. And so now you see his aimed shot button here is now green. That means it's active. So for this turn, he's gonna get accuracy bonus. I think it's 25%, so you get an extra 25% bonus to accuracy when you shoot on this turn only. And yeah, so basically you're sacrificing a shot last turn for accuracy this turn. So it's kind of like, rather than take a shot, you're kind of lining up your shot, and now he's lined up his shot, he's going to be more accurate. And so by the same token, we can also do an evasive maneuvers, which is kind of the opposite. So again, you hit that, and you forego any shooting this turn, and now we're in the next turn, and basically you see it said, you know, taking an evasive maneuvers. Now he has plus 25% dodge chance this turn. So if you come through a tree line or something, it's, oh crap, look at all these enemies, and you don't happen to have a shield or whatever, you can hit that evasive maneuvers. You'll go evasive. You won't be able to shoot, but it might be enough to get you out of trouble, kind of thing. Now in addition to all that, you may notice a new panel down here. So this is the weapon systems panel. And as you can see, as we click around, you get different sort of values down here. This is basically what's going on with your weapon. So first, let's go back to this guy. This guy, as you see, he's got the hammer 120mm cannon. The status is okay right now. And he has, right now, the current ammo types, because you can pick what kind of ammo you want to use now. So there's different types of ammo. So we have armor piercing, which just does the straight up, that's kind of the quote normal shell that we've always had. There's also HE, which is high explosive, and then there's smoke rounds, so we can do smoke screens. So as I said, AP, that's just a regular ammo, just does normal damage. High explosive does half damage to armor, but double damage to exposed hull and also to soft targets, which is something we'll touch on maybe in the next video, hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe. But so that'll do extra damage to soft targets and exposed hull. And smoke rounds, as you might imagine, deploys a smoke screen. So if we, let's put a smoke screen here and fire off. Now there's a smoke screen, and now the vision is obscured, so the enemy can no longer see through that. I'm going to be adding an infrared optics passive, which will allow you to see through smoke. So that'll be in the next update. Not a huge amount of work to do that, but in any case, you'll be able to pair that up with smoke screens and get some really cool and nasty combos going on when you can see through smoke and your enemy can't. So that's that. Pretty happy with that. Now, of course, these different ammo types, these are only available at the moment to kinetic weapons. So, I mean, this is a cannon, so of course it fires shells. So you can have AP shells, you can have, HE shells. And same thing with his machine gun. That fires kinetic, just like bullets, right? So you have AP, you have HE, and that kind of stuff. It doesn't apply to things like this plasma cannon, because as you see on the plasma cannon, the ammo type is battery, which is battery. So it's just energy. So there's no ammo types for energy. At least not yet. I haven't thought of that yet. But the new ammo types just for cannon-based weapons. Now, there's also a new option here. There is rapid fire. So you can now rapid fire your weapons. So the way it works is, of course, it costs twice the ammo and twice the energy. And what it does is it gives you a malice to hit, so it's less accurate, but you have the potential of hitting much harder because, of course, your shooting choice. So if we engage rapid fire, you can see, let's shoot over here and see what happens. Boom, boom, he shoots twice. Obviously, it's rapid fire. So basically, yeah, if you have a lot of to hit mods, maybe that's a good option you can do, or you can maybe combine that with an aim shot kind of thing and get a rapid fire aim shot kind of thing. So it's basically trading accuracy for the potential of a huge damage payout. Now, another change I've made is, this is actually at the request of a viewer. You can now dock the various UI panels out of the way if you don't want to see them. So there's that. And you can dock them and undock them to your liking, in case you want to get a better view, or take screenshots, or maybe you just find them annoying and you want them out of the way, or whatever the case is. So now you can dock and undock these various panels to your liking. Last but certainly not least, we have a new weapon addition to the game, and it's only been almost 2 years that I've been working on this game, and only now we finally have a missile launcher. So I'm pretty happy with how this guy's turned out. So this is the missile launcher right here. So you can see the little missiles in there. So let's go ahead and shoot off the missile launcher, see what it looks like. So shoots this kind of winding missile, and these missiles are guided, which we'll go into later. Now, missiles have right now the only ammo I've got in the game for missiles is SRMs, short range missiles. I'm going to change the name of that to like short range guided missiles, but anyway, doesn't matter for now. Now, missiles have a special option, dual fire. So as you see, of course, there's two missile bays. And this is the SRM-12, which means it holds 12 missiles. So there's 6 missiles on either side, kind of here. The turret's kind of blocking it. I'm going to do some tweaking to the art here to make it a little more, nice and visible and clear to see. But you can do dual fire mode on missiles, which shoots 2 missiles at a time. So this is what that looks like. You get 2 missiles. Obviously, it's 2 missiles, but I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. Now, the reason you would want to pick one or the other, because you only have 12 missiles. And the reason you only have 12 missiles is because, for one, they're accurate, and 2, they hit pretty hard. I think it's 12 damage per missile, so that's a pretty heavy hit. So it's just so to prevent a little bit of spamming, because everybody uses missiles, and it's a heavy hit. It's a really hard, punchy thing, but you don't want to overuse it, right? It's because it'd be overpowered or whatever. So we're restricted to 12 missiles on this missile rack. But anyway, so that's missiles. So if I'm not mistaken, I think that's actually it for this devlog. So we've actually covered quite a bit. I felt like I got through it pretty quickly, but yeah, it's quite a bit to cover. So that's going to be it for now, guys. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for watching. And as always, if you have anything to say, you want to, let me know what you think, or any comments like that, just let me know. Leave some comments in the comment section below. Any and all feedback is always welcome. But I think that's going to be it for now, guys. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.